I like to use a mixture of canola oil and clarified butter. It's got a good smoke point and it's got a good amount of flavor too. I just melt my butter, take all the milk solids out of there, and cool that down and add the canola oil to it, and it's a 50-50 mixture. And I'll add my hash browns to that. These are pre-seasoned and lightly oiled, and when I boil them to 80% cooked, so the starches have all converted. It's still a little bit firm, but it's cooked all the way through. I cool it all the way down in the fridge so that the fan blows it and dries it off, and then I grate it, season it, and the same thing. I put it back in the fridge uncovered so it's as dry as possible. That's how you get as crispy of a potato as you need to have. I'm using the same oil mixture in my pan here, and my Mexican scramble consists of some onions. I usually use about 1 ounce to 2 ounces of onion, and the same for bell pepper. And I'm making my own chorizo. That can go in and it can start sweating. You're gonna see that the onions are gonna start to go a little bit translucent, and that's when you're gonna wanna add your salsa. I make my own salsa as well in-house, and after you've cut it, you'll find that it gets pretty juicy because it's not like a cooked salsa. So what I usually do is I try and get those juices in here to really infuse into the scramble, and I'll set a little bit aside to use for garnish afterwards. I'm gonna take a look at my hash browns here. Nice and caramelized on one side. Flip it, smash it back down. I'm going to reduce the heat a little bit. Now this is going nicely, so I'm going to crack my eggs now. I normally have pre-cracked eggs when I'm doing it in the restaurant, but when you're just doing it for yourself, it's nice to do it nice and fresh. I always use a fork to crack my eggs when I'm doing a small batch. Chopsticks are the best, but I don't have any chopsticks in my diner, so I have to suffer through a fork here. Go ahead and add that in. And let it form a little bit of a skin. Let it kind of cook on the bottom a little bit, and then just kind of fold it into itself, bringing fresh eggs down to the bottom, and keeping the cooked eggs in and mixed in with all the other goodies in there. It's a patience game. Takes a little time. Once you get your eggs to about 80% cooked, what I like to do is I turn my flame off then and add my cheese mixture. So that's it, we're done cooking. I'm gonna go ahead and plate this up now. And then I just keep some of the cheese that I held back. I garnish that on top, let that melt in there. A little bit more of the fresh salsa on top. Bob's your uncle. Or Pedro in this case.